11 a.m. to the early hours, the exact routine and schedule breakdown of Bonnie's Blue Challenge. It was a long slog. Haley's Sewn Trends. Ever since Bonnie Blue said she'd slept with 1,000 men in 12 hours, people have been questioning exactly how that's even possible. But now, as the video documenting the challenge has been released, Bonnie Blue has shared more about the routine she had on the day. Men from the queue have also spoken about the wild breakdown of what went on. The event took place in a bougie mansion in central London. However, the interior really wasn't that fancy. The staircase where the men waited seemed grand, but then they were met with an empty room set up like a filming studio and some black cushioned seats to do the deed on. Here is the full routine Bonnie Blue followed on the day of her 1,000 guys in 12 hours challenge, and the schedule the day followed.
Via YouTube.
Bonnie Blue arrived at the house 2 hours early, and the queue was already huge. Bonnie Blue has said one of her main concerns ahead of the event was that people weren't going to show up. However, she said she arrived 2 hours before the start time to get ready, and the place was already full. It looks as though she stayed at a nearby hotel the night before and headed straight there in the morning. I got there 2 hours before the venue started, and there were already people outside, she said of the day. At the start of the day, she spent the first 2 hours upstairs in the house, getting ready. They filmed some intro bits, and Bonnie posted some pictures to her Instagram. I didn't really come downstairs too much, Bonnie said of the early hours. The main part of the venue was in the middle of the house. Bonnie Blue got ready upstairs, and there was a basement and lower floors for people to wait in. A woman who passed by the event said from the outside it looked like a nondescript office block. She said it was shockingly close to where tourists shopped and office workers who got on with their regular 9-5s. As the men arrived, they were screened and had their IDs checked. When the men arrived, they had to do an initial ID check. The men were then ushered into a waiting room. Staff then took the men to another smaller room in the order they arrived. Bonnie Blue's team checked IDs more thoroughly, photographed the men with their passports, and made them sign an NDA. If the men passed quality assurance, they were given a wristband and led to the floor below. Then, let the queue commence. Bonnie addressed the huge queues of men who waited for her. Before the day kicked off, Bonnie Blue went down to greet all the men who had waited for her in the queue. "I want you to have a good time," she told them all. "If you don't want a camera in your face, tell me. This is for you. If there's anything you want to try, if there's anything you've not done, I want it to be fun." She added the men are welcome to spit on me, slap me, make me yours today. Bonnie Blue filmed the stunt from 1 p.m. to well into the night. Describing the day, one of the men who was there said, "She had a camera set up. I think she said she had 5 cameras altogether. It was in a hall. They were using just the one big room. The queue started from the bottom of the stairs, up a staircase, and then into the room. She's got 12 hours of footage. It started at 1 p.m., and she was going well into the night." She shared her live location throughout the day and posted live updates about how many men were in the queue. Food and refreshments were provided to people there. It started in groups and then more one-on-one sessions. Bonnie explained that at the start of the day, it started with men seeing her in group sessions, before it became more one-on-one. "At the start, the room was absolutely full," she said. "Then we did groups of 5, one after another. Then, because we were hitting really good numbers, I wanted to give people more time. So it went down to one-on-ones. One person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it was literally like a rotating circle. It was clarified in the first 3 to 4 hours it was men seeing Bonnie in groups of around 15 to 20. Bonnie said she was on her back, with men all on me. She said she didn't see light for around 4 hours because of the number of people on top of her. During the day, Bonnie Blue slept with 1,057 men in 12 hours. It was initially going to be 1,000, but 57 more were waiting in the queue, and Bonnie didn't want to let them down. Each guy had at least 24 seconds with her. People have questioned the logistics of sleeping with that many people in such little time. But someone has done the maths, and it equals to about 24 seconds per guy. Worth the wait, I'm sure. But Bonnie clarified she hit numbers earlier in the day, which meant towards the end people got more time with her. It wasn't an even split. Bonnie only took 4 breaks during the day. Bonnie said she didn't have a break of longer than 3 to 4 minutes throughout the whole day. I think my longest break was 3 minutes, and I took 4 breaks in total, she said. Straight afterwards, Bonnie filmed more content.
Via YouTube.
Of course, Bonnie Blue captured the direct aftermath of the day. In pictures, piles of condoms could be seen covering the floor. She then filmed herself describing how she felt. Bonnie admitted down there hurt a little bit, but